Well, it looks like we got a brand new mode, right? It's about time. We've only been wanting a 2v2 forever, but I'm sure that's next. But yeah, I don't know. This mode was interesting to say the least. There's a few surprises here, but you're gonna have to stick around till the end to figure out how I surprised. Because I don't know. I feel like I was lied to. But anyways, let's worry about that further down the line. But one of the main problems I had with this is that, well, it's just bots. I was hoping, as the levels went up, they would, progressively get better. And because, I played for so long, well, there's no way I'm going to lose. The only way, some of these missions were difficult. And, one of them actually said, allow steal one time. And sure enough, I misunderstood because what kind of mission? You go into something and sure enough, they need to deliberately steal the ball from you. So yeah, no, I did not get that one, or sometimes limit them to 6 points. The problem with that is I don't have control of everybody, so I can't be everywhere at once. So yeah, sometimes that stuff is difficult. These blocks, sometimes you gotta bait these guys. You gotta think outside the box. I can appreciate that. These are bots, and sure enough, well, unless you're kind of out there, away from them for a while, they're not going to shoot, they're always going to pass. So basically just be like 10 feet, act like, leave them open, and sure enough, you're just going to rush in there, then, it's a lot easier. But yeah, I had to brainstorm about that one. And, I could see where this could possibly good for, like, new players, because the whole thing is that even though I can't control everybody, they still got all my cards too. And sure enough, the bots, well, they ain't got no cards, but maybe if you're new, well, it's different, because sure enough, you're throwing all these buffs too on top of that. I got to a point where my guy's just unstoppable. I got unlimited stamina, I got all this, I got all that. And well, yeah, OP say the least, but they're OP, since the beginning. But maybe, this could be good, if you're like level 3. And there's one more thing I want to get into before I tell you about something cool you unlock after you beat level 10. But the reason why I felt cheated, sure enough, these rewards, you see these growth trees and stuff, and sure enough, I'm sitting here thinking, well, hey, you know what, it makes your attributes go up. Why wouldn't this count for, just 3-on-3 in general, right? You figure there'd be something. But sure enough, there's absolutely no rewards. At best, you get coins and XP just for beating this, and that's it. There's no rewards, so right away I feel cheated, because I'm sitting here thinking as I'm getting them all up. But, this is, if you're into it, I mean, you could customize the bots, I've never tried it. I have my doubts. You give yourself handicaps. I mean, that's kind of cool if you're into that stuff. I can see why people would be, but I have a feeling that regardless, you'll have to try it out yourself. But I have a pretty good idea there's still going to be bots, so that's where, well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, but at least they tried something. And I just wish there's some kind of rewards here, because, there's no incentive, and sure enough, more attributes, jeez, right? But, I don't know, I guess that's just the way it is. Overall, though, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I just wish that, there's rewards. That's about it. Other than that, it makes sense. You get higher difficulties and stuff like that. It could be worse. I feel like they put a little bit of effort into something, but with no rewards, well, yeah. It's just one of those things. But anyways, that's about it. So, yeah, take care. Like and subscribe for more content. Have a good night.